You need to set up a corporation. Now for me, my brand of choice is always the S Corporation. I believe in setting the S Corporation up. A lot of people will teach the LLC, but then you have to deem if you're a sole proprietor or a partnership or an S Corp. So for me, I just simplify it, make it real simple, and just go straight out of the box with the S Corporation. But if you already started an LLC, you can still continue down your path with the LLC. Not an issue. Just remember, when you go to file your taxes, always choose the S Corporation. This will increase your profits in the business as much as possible following the tax code. When you're going to get into ATM business, what you're going to need to do is you're going to have transportation, at least to move the ATM. So that a lot of times that's just an SUV or a pickup truck or some kind of, in the back in the day when I was growing up, like a station wagon. They don't really make those anymore, but something where you can put an ATM into the vehicle to move it from point to point. Sometimes you can just borrow that from one of your friends or ask them to help you, real easy. And then after the ATM's in place, the other thing you're gonna have to do is have an economical car that gets good gas mileage, so to minimize your expenses and keep the cost of doing business down so you can increase your revenues and make lots of money. So I know when I first started, I had an old broken down pickup truck that we used. It was good for moving equipment, but it was bad on gas mileage. But that was the vehicle that we used to fill the ATMs. And then you know what? I decided, you know what we need is I need another vehicle that has really good gas mileage to help minimize the cost. Back when gas was $5 a gallon, $5.50 a gallon, you know what? It made it tougher on like a pickup truck that only got about 18 miles a gallon. We tried to get another car, got about 40 miles a gallon. It really saved, cut the expenses down, and I could say, wow, I could actually make the payment for the vehicle that was cheaper than putting in the gas in the truck. So I looked at that. And when you're in business for yourself, those are the kind of things you're gonna have to do. You have to look at, is this vehicle the right vehicle? Is this one? I know in the family settings, a lot of times you have an SUV, big gas pays for a lot of gas, but now with gas being low, it's not a big deal, but always keep in mind, gas could shift, it could get expensive again, and that'll eat into your profits. So just be mindful of that when you guys get into ATM business. I see it all the time. People are trying, they got one ATM, they say, oh, I went to Craigslist, I went to another place, maybe a garage sale, or they saw an ad for a free ATM, and they got this ATM, and they say, oh, I got it for $100, and they're thinking, oh, I just saved all this money, and they get it home, and they go to hook it up, and they realize that the ATM is not compliant, and it can't be compliant, or they have to spend thousands of dollars to get it upgraded, and now they have an ATM that is not in use, and they're gonna end up with a big headache on their hands. So I recommend don't buy a used ATM, at least until you're a seasoned veteran in the ATM business and you understand what you're buying. If you decide to go down this road, please check with somebody who's in the business to say, look, I saw these two little beauties sitting in a garage. What are they worth? How can I make it work? Will it be profitable for me? At least ask other people here in the ATM Mastermind. You can always shoot a picture. We'll respond to say, this is what you got and this is what you're looking at.
Now here's the pros of the wireless. Pros are, you won't have to worry about that call on Friday night late because your internet went down. You won't have to worry about they switch providers. You don't have to worry about any of that. You won't have to worry to say, oh, you're stealing all my bandwidth with your ATM. You don't have to worry about any of that because you have a wireless device. Most of the time, almost every time, it never goes down. Usually always works unless they're putting a patch through. Works all the time. Really good. It's fast and it's convenient. Now, here's the cons of this. Now, the cons of the wireless is it depends on which way you go. There's 2 or 3 different formulas. It's going to cost you about $159 to $200 to buy a box. Or you can rent it or lease it somewhere between $17 and $20 a month, just depending on what deal you cut, what your volume is, what kind of player you are in the game. Now, what do we suggest? It just depends on what's better for you. If you buy the box, about every 2 years they're changing. We go from 3G and we went to 4G. Now we're currently going to 5G. So if you buy the box, now what happens is you got a bunch of boxes out on the street and now they're basically throwaways. They will work for a little while, but your transaction will start to go down just because you're not on the latest grades and it's not as fast. So you have some kind of errors, and it seems like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, it's like when they we went from 2 to 3, it seemed like 2G worked all of a sudden, and then what happens is like they deliberately put patches in to kill it. That's what we saw. That's what I felt like anyways. I don't know if that's true, but we did see that there was some challenges, so then we upgraded to 3, and we went to 4. Now we're starting the process of migrating over to 5.
So I'm a big advocate of training. I'm trying to get from where I'm at to the next level. How do I do that? Most of the time, you look to people who are above your level from wherever you're at, and you ask them for advice. Okay, here at PDQ and the ATM Mastermind Group page, we provide training. We have a course, we have an online course, we have coaching calls, we have just coaching if you want. We wrote a book. Whatever you need, we can help you through whatever process or however much you want. But if it's not us, there's other people in this industry, very smart, can help you from where you're at. Don't go alone, ask for help, and people will give you help. Whether it's in the Mastermind Group page, whether it's on YouTube or other places, don't go alone. Ask for help, and you will get a lot further faster than if you ever went it by yourself.